It's all G. So I'm not going to start how I usually start.
What's happening today?
So this episode is all about birthing experiences, from natural to water birth and C-sections. I think a lot of you guys know that I did a cesarean, so I can talk a little bit more about that. But we will also talk about a little bit about natural and a little bit of water birth.
Yes, because we have common knowledge and people tell us stories, so therefore we can express our opinions on them.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Okay, so natural, the complete natural way of giving birth. So you can opt for an epidural or no epidural. Stop, when you're looking at me, I feel shy.
Okay, I will look somewhere else.
No, you can look at me, it's okay. So yeah, basically I have a mama poo meetup with soon to be moms, first time moms, and I always tell them, actually me and my sister-in-law, we do this. We always tell them that they should always have a birth plan, so that if anything goes wrong, the doctor knows what exactly you want. As in, you have the baby, who do you want in the room? What kind of music you want, for natural music. Then if you need...
we didn't have any music. No.
That's because I did a cesarean.
You only get music if it's natural?
Yeah, of course.
What?
Yeah, because it calms. The music is to calm the mom, and they have, so that's why you go for Lamaze classes, where you go with your partner.
The what?
Lamaze classes.
What is that? We never did that. For natural.
Oh my gosh,
sorry,
this
go
guy.
on. This is her episode. Please,
this is not
take
my
it away.
episode. You can give your 2 cents once in a while.
I give 5 cents.
Yeah, so there's this thing called Lamaze class. I'm sure a lot of people know this, but I'm just going to tell you. It's basically you go with your partner, and this lady comes and helps you to teach you about breathing techniques, and to tell the husband what to do to comfort their wife. And
is this person a doctor?
It's not a doctor exactly. It's a midwife.
Oh, midwife.
It's a midwife.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a midwife. Yeah, but there are a lot of people who actually do this. And you can do about 3-4 classes, and it's actually really good to do if you are going to do natural, because it helps you, it helps you basically, it tells you what to expect, but you don't exactly know what to expect as well, but you're kind of prepared. But yeah, so that's why we always tell, if you're doing natural, you have to have a birthing plan, so the doctor knows exactly what to do, the nurses know what to do, your husband knows what to do, and
everyone's informed.
Everyone's basically informed. So you can always opt for an epidural, but some moms prefer not having medication, but that's totally up to you.
Yeah, remember this, there's no right or wrong way.
It's anything that you want to do.
Yeah, it's what makes you the most comfortable and what makes you happy. Because, a lot of people try to shit on one way or the other, but if you do a C-section or natural, you're bringing life into this world. So remember that whichever method you choose is fine, whether with painkillers, without painkillers, natural, C, it's always okay. So yeah, so an epidural is obviously a painkiller for those of you that don't know.
So you basically don't feel anything.
Where do they inject you? In your spine,
right? I think
right?
they inject you. I'm actually not too sure about that. Some people say there's a needle that goes from here.
But either ways, your legs are lifeless.
Yeah, your entire, I think, your legs and all are lifeless. But you can still push. You can push.
Yes, you don't push with your legs.
Yeah, man, I know. I want to punch you. Okay, never mind. So yeah, then where were we?
Natural, epidural, no epidural.
So no epidural. Then there's this thing. I lost track.
So maybe then we can move on to.
Wait, no.
Okay.
Epidural. Yes. So some moms usually tell the doctor. Because sometimes when you're having natural, sometimes your vagina can tear. So sometimes you tell the doctor, or the doctor sometimes does a little slit, a little cut, which kind of helps you, helps the baby basically come out so that you won't tear. But when you do tear, there's this thing called perineal spray, where it kind of helps soothe that area. That's for after. I will explain for afterbirth process. It's like you didn't know this. You obviously didn't know this because
it's
I
just anyway. It's hard to hear.
Then there's this other thing called sometimes when you're doing natural, the baby can kind of get stuck, and that's where you use forceps, where it kind of helps the baby. You put the forceps into the vagina, and it kind of helps the baby navigate out. But it's not exactly that he's pulling the baby out. You're pushing. But it helps the baby find the canal out, basically.
Right.
So that's another interesting thing. Actually, I only recently found out about this because my best friend went through this. So it was quite shocking because I'd never exactly heard of forceps. So that's because obviously I had never done.
Which is why we're even doing this, right?
Yeah,
there's so many things we hadn't heard of that we want to kind of share with all you guys, so that we're sharing information that was shocking to us at times, but it's nice to know and it's nice to learn more about it.
And even when you have natural, there's always a chance that you can go into emergency C-section, and that's why we say when there has to be a birthing plan as well. Sometimes parents moms are dead against C-sections because they just want to do it the natural way. So there's always a plan, like before a C-section, can we do this, can we do that? So it's always important to always speak to your doctor about everything, so that there's no surprises, and even the nurses know exactly what you want, and you always have to discuss this with your husband too. Yeah.
I don't remember you discussing anything with me.
That's because we did a C-section.
Oh, right. So this is only
okay.
I was like, why have I not been through any of this?
So then there's water birth. Water birth is the exact same way as natural, except there is zero medication. You have to basically sit in the water.
Do it all without any pain.
There's a thing called laughing gas, where you get laughing gas, where it helps you kind of really relax and.
But the thing is, because you're in a tub, you can't really have your legs being lifeless because you have to support yourself.
But you can always, if you want the epidural, you can immediately tell the doctor that you want the epidural, and they would just take you out of the water and put you on the bed and give you the epidural.
And then you'd have a natural birth instead of a water birth.
Water birth, yeah. So it's kind of the same thing, natural and water birth, except it's in the water, and there's no medication. Yeah.
And there's supposed to be some benefits. You know why they say for the baby, right? Because the baby is kind of in liquid inside your stomach, and then when the baby comes out, it's still in liquid underwater. So for the baby, there are of course pros and cons to everything, but that's one of the pros I've heard.
Yeah, there's a Nine Wells has the water birth thing. That's actually the only hospital that has it. Yeah, and I think about.
Yeah, but abroad, like in America, they have midwives that come to the house and deliver babies in the bathtub.
Bathtubs, pool.
Do we have that here?
I'm actually not too sure. I've never heard of water birth.
I guess if you look into it, maybe
probably
you could find someone, I suppose, but we haven't looked into it. So yeah, but that sounds kind of cool as well. Just do everything at home.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Why not?
I don't know.
What if I actually wanted it? Then you have to go through it.
What?
Never mind.
Yeah, then of course I guess I'd have to put my mind to it and get it done.
But I don't think I would have been able to do it though, because for me, I'm just so scared of the pain. Like even if I wanted an epidural, I'd be so scared that I would give birth before, and then there won't be time to get the epidural, because sometimes you can be way.
You can just go into
labor like that, and you won't get the chance to get the epidural, so you have to go through the pain. I think that was the biggest scare for me, because I actually wanted to do natural but get the epidural, but that's what kind of stopped me from.
And I mean also with natural, you can't really decide on the day, right? It's when the baby's ready to come out.
I mean, moms go on for 41 weeks, so
so that means 41 weeks of pregnancy.
And it gets so uncomfortable.
The average is
actually
38, right?
some parents, some moms, when it's say that it's at 40 weeks, sometimes they decide to induce labor, where they break the water bag. But sometimes, of course, the doctors don't recommend it. But when it's way far along, at 41 weeks, and it's just so uncomfortable, they decide to induce. I mean, I wouldn't have minded if we induced, but I don't know if there's pain though. I don't think there is pain. Some people say there is pain, some people.
So next week
it all depends on it all depends on the individual person who can handle pain and who cannot. And if your mind is strong, then
yeah, like I said, whatever you're prepared to put yourself through. So that's why it has to totally be the mother's decision on how it's done.
Then, of course,
last but not least,
the C-section. So that actually, before I prepared, like high-waisted disposable underwear, because you need that because you have the cut over here, and the elastic of the panty shouldn't be touching the scar because of the pain. It can hurt, and even if it rubs, all those stitches. So before that, this is things that you really kind of need to know before you go into a C-section. You need nighties or even high-waisted, like, pajamas, so that like the undies, it can't be over here, it has to be like over here, up there. Then, of course, even for natural and C-section, you, of course, as soon as you give birth, you immediately get your period. I completely forgot about that. Like, you get your period and it's a big heavy flow, so sometimes you have to use the maternity pads. It all depends on the person, because I actually didn't use maternity pads, I used the normal pads. I learned that from my first pregnancy, because I used the massive pads, and then I was like, wait, I don't really need this. And then the second pregnancy, I figured, okay, I'll just use normal pads. So
wait, what? You get your period right after you give birth?
Yeah, right after you give birth, you immediately get your period. So you have your period for like 6 weeks, 1 month. Yeah.
So guys, we have some awesome news as well. Smoothie has come on board as a partner for our podcast. And they have some amazing products.
For moms, for pregnant moms, for newborns, just basically everything that is available in Sri Lanka. And they also ship worldwide. So
from mosquito repellent to lactation, teething stuff,
everything,
all sorts of products. So please do check them out. For those of you watching on YouTube, there's a link below that you can click to head straight on over to their site. And for those of you listening in, please use the code ALLG, ALLG. And now back to the episode.
What is wrong with you? How can you not remember any of this? Anyway, so you have your period for about 6 weeks.
No, I don't remember.
Yes, of course. I had my period for 6 weeks.
So we had sex?
No, we didn't.
We didn't? Oh. 6 weeks is a pretty long time.
Shut up, man. You're just being
I just don't remember this. I can't remember not having sex for 6 weeks. Twice. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
What a commitment I've made to this in the end. When you look at it, see, I've gone through a lot too.
Oh, so funny. You're so annoying. Anyway, so C-section, you basically have to plan that, and of course, before you can basically tell the doctor the day that you want to have the baby. That is your choice. I think that is why we also planned it, because we wanted everything planned out.
Both our kids, their birthdays have only 1s and 2s in them. 2/1/21 and 12/12/22.
Yeah, so that so basically we went into hospital. I'll just explain my thing. We went into hospital, and they basically check if you're having any contractions or anything, and then they take you in actually. And by the way, if you're doing a C-section, you can't have colored nails. You have to shave your vagina, because otherwise, if you don't, the nurse would do it for you, and you wouldn't want that because you can get cut. Also,
in C-section, you have to have that epidural, right, or whatever.
Yeah. You have to have the epidural.
So you wouldn't feel it even if they cut you, but like you feel it later.
No. Oh my goodness, wait. I'm like teaching you also, no?
Yeah.
So basically, before you have a C-section, I always recommend new moms, whoever is doing a C-section, always go to the salon and get wax, so that you don't get shaved by a nurse. Because for a C-section, you need to be completely clean over there, and you can't have any colorful nails.
Why is this?
Because if if anything does go wrong during the C-section, sometimes your fingernails can turn color, and that can indicate to the doctor that there's something wrong. So anything that can,
Whoa, that's very interesting.
Yeah, so that's why they say you have to always have, no nail polish.
And what about the no hair policy? What's that about?
That's because hair could go inside you when they cut you. Like any infections, anything can happen, So that's why they say that you have to be clean down there.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that is, I completely forgot about that. But yeah. And then, then the doctor takes you in and they give you the epidural. But before, the husband, by the way, doesn't come into this into the room till you get the epidural. So they first take you in, they check your pressure to see if your pressure is okay, and then they basically put you sitting like this, and then you have to bend down like that. I don't know, it was a really weird way they told me to bend, and then they inject the epidural in like a needle inside your spine, and immediately your legs just go completely numb. Like literally, I remember like my legs were just flying everywhere, and I was like, oh my god, and you don't feel anything, I'm just lying down and I can see this. And then they tie your hands too, like over like this, because just in case just in case you move around or anything. I remember the first time I was like intrigued, I was like, oh, this is so cool. But then the second time,
it looked like bondage, tied up.
Then the second time I remember I had a bit of a panic attack. I think I said that before, like I had a bit of a panic attack because I felt like claustrophobic, like there was a screen in front of me. And by the way, this is a new thing. Now you can actually ask the doctor not to have a screen in front of you, so that you can actually see the process of you being cut up, and then you can actually have the baby come to you.
Thank God that screen was there. I was behind the screen, very happy.
But normally, actually for natural, some people, they have the baby and they immediately take the baby out and they keep it on you, on your on your chest. So even for C-section, there is that option now, because I remember 9-wells, they do that. Oh, I'm not sure if other hospitals do it, but I saw that 9-wells had introduced that. So that was just before Abiola, but then I told myself, no, I don't think I can go through it. I mean, I had a panic attack anyway when that was there. So I remember I was lying down like this and I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe. And I'm looking at Shehan. I was like, Shehan, I can't breathe. Then doctor is like, don't worry, relax. And the nurse is like, no.
And I'm there just like, breathe.
Yeah, and they were like, then they were trying to give me oxygen. I was like, no, I don't even want oxygen. I'm just like, and then doctor's like, okay, calm down, baby's coming out. And as soon as baby came out, I think I just calmed down. It's because during the C-section, when they're cutting you, it's not that you can feel anything, but you can feel the pressure. Like I felt the pressure here and I felt it over here, so it felt like I couldn't breathe. I don't know, it was just weird. It was a weird feeling. But like as soon as baby came out, like everything changed. Like, like I didn't feel scared when you hear the baby cry. That was just, everything just went away. Like my panic attack and everything went away. And then they immediately take baby out. Then of course
out of the room,
to check to check if anything's wrong, their weight, and they kind of clean the baby up. Then of course you're in the theater for about another 10-15 minutes because they have to kind of stitch you up, and that's when I say that they have to put the catheter into your vagina, because you don't feel anything for like 8 hours. So for 8 hours, you don't feel anything and you get your period immediately, and immediately the nurses actually put like, that olden days they tie a rope around you and they put a pad. That's what they do.
Like an amude?
Yeah, something like that. Oh my God, you don't remember any of this, do you? Not like
I wasn't looking at your amude man when my child is there in the room.
So they kind of do all that to you before you leave the theater. And then after that, of course, they give the baby to you, and then you have to breastfeed, which is something I never knew either, where you have to immediately breastfeed your baby because immediately milk starts coming. That's basically a C-section. And I remember for my first pregnancy with Seth, it was so weird. Like, my best friend did it as well, and she said, oh, she didn't need any painkillers after the C-section. But then I thought to myself, like, I thought, oh yeah, I can handle it too, since my best friend did it as well, it must have been nothing. And then I remember just sitting there lying down, and suddenly after 8 hours, it was 6 or 8 hours, you can feel your legs like suddenly coming, like, and the pain was coming. And then I told myself, no, I don't need this, I can't handle it. But no
she
chance.
could not handle it.
I could not handle it. I had to take painkillers, but once you take the painkillers, it's completely fine. And every time you feel like it's getting worse, you can immediately call the doctor or call the nurse and tell them, and they would give you something else as well to just, make you relax. But yeah, 8 hours. And I remember the hardest thing for me was
using the bathroom the first time.
Hey guys, just want to take a second and shout out my YouTube page, Asherah Gomez. That's where I post all about lifestyle and travel.
And also, please check out our Patreon. We hope to post more behind the scenes content of our daily lives. So please subscribe and show your support. Cheers. I've heard this story before.
Even I think for natural water birth, C-section, I think that's the hardest thing, especially for C-section, I think, because you can't strain. The doctor tells you can't strain, you can't move too much, so you have to just let the shit come. So I'm just like, how the hell do you do that? And then they kind of give you, like, I can't remember, like syrups anyway to...
Yeah, I had to put a suppository, no?
Yeah, they do that. No, that's to stop. That's for the pain. They give that for the pain, yeah. But yeah, it was really hard. The first pregnancy, I remember, like, I had to wait for 3 days, and they were just like, if you don't poop, you have to stay the next day as well. So I was like, oh my god, this is horrible. I remember they gave me this, I don't know, syrup or whatever. I had to drink it, and it was like, ugh, horrible. And I remember the first poop was so hard. I remember crying because it was so difficult, and I was like, why am I going through this? Why is this happening? But as soon as it happens, you're fine. It's just that first shit that you need to do, and then you're completely okay. And also for C-section, so the doctors don't kind of let you leave till you have your first poop in hospital. So that was something.
Wait, natural, you can go home and poop?
That's what I'm not too sure about that actually. It all depends. I think I'm not quite sure. Maybe y'all can just drop comments below and let me know.
What about peeing?
Peeing also was a bit difficult, I remember. I mean, yeah, because...
But I don't know how it is for natural, no, when you pee. I mean,
no, it hurts.
Must be
it
like
hurts.
different.
So after natural, like sometimes...
Just had something come out of it.
So if it tears, there's this thing called the perineal spray where it kind of, Smoothie has it. And... yeah, there's a discount for you guys for that. But yeah, the perineal spray kind of helps you soothe it down. Stop laughing at me. Down there.
So funny, man.
And me, I'm funny? Thanks. But yeah, for C-section, one thing I recommend too is as soon as you feel your legs the next day, you should start walking, because the best recovery for a C-section is walking around. And of course not carrying any heavy things, but walking. And honestly, for me, the second time around was quite easy, because I immediately knew that I need to get up, start doing different things. And I think when I came back home, like, I didn't feel anything. I don't know, it was just weird. I think because I was back with Seth, and I just felt so comfortable at home, and like the pain also wasn't so bad. So always remember, just take the painkillers because it really helps you. But yeah.
Yeah, so but before we end,
what?
I read somewhere that apparently back in the day, people used to give birth, not people, women used to give birth on all fours. That, apparently that was easier. And why it changed to women giving birth on their backs was because this king, if I'm not mistaken, French king, King Louis IV or something like that, enjoyed watching women give birth on their back. And then he just, like, it became a thing throughout the land, and then it just changed over time. But apparently it would be easier to give birth on all fours because you can push better.
You never know. Maybe.
Yeah. So next time, shall we try that?
I can't. Oh yeah, I don't think I can do natural anyway because I've had two C-sections now, so there's no chance.
What does that mean?
I don't think I can because they've cut the inside, so even to strain, like doctors just don't recommend it. Yeah,
so you have to have a C-section henceforth if you have more children.
Probably, yeah.
So twice more.
Are you mad? Oh my gosh, please.
Very nice.
I think I don't know. I read somewhere that a C-section. I think three sections.
Three
C-sections. You're just confused. You're not confused. Oh, tongue twisted. Shush. I think maximum you can do is 3 C-sections. You thought I was gonna.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd do it again.
Okay, but
Make me laugh.
Anyways, guys, I hope that was
insightful, enlightening,
yeah,
and everything in between.
Because
Thank you.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Because
well, you were ending it, and then I just added to it.
From actually next year, I'm planning to do Mama Poo meetups. Every 3 months, where I realize that a lot of moms don't know a lot of things, and life after birth, I think, is the most important thing that you need to do. Postpartum. Everything.
You need to research on and be informed so that
you
handle it better.
Yeah, so that is why I'm going to be doing this from next year. I'm actually going to try and do it every 3 months because
maybe even more if possible. If the response is good and if there are more moms who want to be a part of the Mama Poo meetups.
For sure, and it's so nice also. Like I said in my previous podcast, previous episodes. I've had 3 Mama Poo meetups, and we all have this WhatsApp group, and it's so nice to see all moms, helping each other out, whatever they're feeling, they would talk about it. And I'm in this group, and my sister-in-law is in this group, so like any information we can give them, we do. So it's nice to kind of create a mommy group, and I hope we can do it in a bigger way, hopefully. But yeah. That is all.
Thank you so much for listening and watching, and we hope to see you on the next episode. And as we always say,
it's all G. This podcast is a Creator Cast production.